Welcome, listeners, to the final episode of The Art of Healing. I'm Demetri the Poet, and today's episode is called Your Healing Voice. This season, we've journeyed together through art and poetry, grief and play, ritual and renewal. We've explored what it means to heal, not only through medicine or time, but through creation. Today, we bring it all together. This is about integration, how to weave creativity into daily life so that your art becomes your companion, your guide, and your voice. Let's take a deep breath and remember where we've been. We began with the language of art, learning how color, word, and image speak to the soul. Then poetry taught us how to be vulnerable and how that can be medicine. We painted our emotions, explored the creative brain, turned journals into poems, and gave form to our grief. We danced with mystery, with community, with nature, and we played like children again. Finally, we built systems to protect and nurture that creative fire. Each episode, each exercise was a way of saying, I am still becoming. Healing isn't linear, but creativity gives us a compass, something to hold on to when we're lost, something to return to when we're ready to speak again. Finding your healing voice doesn't mean shouting it out to the world. It means honoring it, trusting it, and sharing it when you're ready. When I first began writing about my trauma, I didn't show anyone for years. But eventually I realized that speaking my truth just wasn't for me, but it can help others feel less alone. That's when healing deepened into a connection. Art that heals us often ripples outward, becoming part in someone else's healing too. Every poem, every painting, or song is a bridge from your inner world to the collective one. And that's what the final episode is about: bridges between self and community, solitude and sharing, silence and voice. Let's reflect together. If you can, find a comfortable seat or stand by a window. Close your eyes if that feels good. Take a deep breath in and out. Now think back to one creative moment from this season. Maybe a poem you wrote, or a collage, or a color that stayed with you. What did that moment teach you about yourself? What does your creative self need next? Space, community, challenge, rest? And finally, imagine your creative voice as a color, a sound, or a shape. How does it want to move in the world? This is your healing voice. It doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be true. Throughout this season, many of you have written in, sharing your art, your stories, and your poems. We'd like to share a few excerpts today. When I first painted my grief map, I realized I wasn't broken. I was blooming in new directions. Amira, painter and teacher. The six-line medicine poem became my morning prayer. I whispered while making coffee. Raphael, poet and father. I used to think that art had to be beautiful. Now I see it just has to be honest. Tanya, collage artist. Thank you to everyone who shared their creative voice this season. You've turned this podcast into a living art circle, a space of collective healing. For today's final creative prompt, we're closing the circle. Record or perform one of your pieces from this season, a poem, a story, a sound, or even a song. You can use your phone, a notebook, or even your own voice in an empty room. Speak it aloud. Let your body feel the vibration of your words. Let your art echo back to you. Because when you speak or show your art, even just to yourself, you affirm, I exist, I create, I am whole. As we close this season, I want to remind you, creativity isn't a phase. It's a lifelong practice of returning to yourself. Healing through art isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about listening to what's alive. Your art, your poem, your your dance, your doodle, they're all ways of saying yes to being here. So keep creating, keep listening, keep sharing in your own time, your own way, and know that every act of art is an act of courage. From my heart to yours, thank you for traveling this creative path with me. May your voice continue to heal you, and through you, the world. This has been The Art of Healing. I'm D. Mr. Poet. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep creating.